what I assume final Scarlet Nexus DLC pack is here, and it comes with what people wanted. So let's talk about it. For $6.99 US dollars, you get 16 costumes, some new challenge missions, and challenge battles, as well as some new story content. So I'm going to start with the costumes, because these are usually pretty quick. I'll show them on the screen now. 16 costumes, most of which do not alter the base models. As my complaint has been consistent through these packs, I prefer when the costumes do alter the base models, but this time we're getting 16 for a lower price point, so I'm not too picky about it. Kasane and Yuito get the Favorite Child Awards, as they get 2 outfits, for a total of 4 outfits, which are more altered than the other characters get. Most of the other characters are recolors, with small variations in between. Anyways, they're not really completely awful outfits. I do like the black ones on Kasane and Yuito. The light blue ones are a little less up my alley. Overall, for 16 outfits, it's not too bad. I'm warning you all now, you cannot get into the extra story content for this until you finish the main game. For a general understanding of what the story content is, it's basically a lot of cutscenes, some fully animated, most done in the style that Scarlet Nexus is currently known for, which is kind of a visual novel-esque style, or just visual novel style. It wasn't especially long, since you've finished the game. There isn't really much gameplay to it either, but the single fight you're forced to do is kind of difficult, at least for me it was, since I couldn't really figure out some of the stuff, as I haven't played the game in a very long time, at least consistently. So, I'm going to be talking about the actual story stuff here. Basically, you follow Karen's time adventure. You get to witness a lot of different histories in this. And honestly, I really like this. The brief moments we had with Karen in the main game did enough for me to enjoy him as an antagonist, but this episode really fleshes out some things that help me connect with his character and connect him to other characters. Basically, it turns him from a kind of just a antagonist to more of like his own character. We get a lot of stuff. We get to see the original timeline where Fubuki and Alice die. We get insight to Karen and Alice, so saving Alice doesn't really seem as strange, since the love between them is not one-sided, despite the fact she's engaged to Fubuki. I always thought that was really weird. Though you might be able to infer it through like the ending, but it was always really weird. It was always really weird for me. We get to watch Naomi get killed again, and we get to see this pretty cool alternate timeline where Karen and the OSF members from Togetsu are forced to clash. I do really like that each time we see someone die, it certainly seems like things have to be that way. In different timelines, a lot of events change, but there are some things that seem to stay the same. It's very engaging, and it kind of gives me insight to Karen's mental descent. Since Karen kind of acts as this opposite of how Yuito and Kasane are, where Yuito and Kasane kind of give up the thing they want. Kasane gives up on Naomi, and Yuito gives up his powers and can't stop Nagi from dying, whereas Karen tries to live in a timeline where Alice is alive. And I think at the end, what I absolutely love is that Karen realizes there's one thing he never tried. And he says he's never tried to lose himself. He constantly lost Alice and Fubuki over and over again, but he comes to terms with his last solution. Basically, in order to keep Alice and Fubuki alive, he has to lose himself. He can't save the life he desires to save without losing himself, so it's an even trade, so to speak. And we never really get a full explanation as to what happens in the current timeline, how Alice and Fubuki survived this whole thing now that Karen's gone, or how events played out to the extent that they did. I know we got a little bit of an overview, but it really wasn't anything especially solid. The one thing is clear, and it's that Karen's erasure of himself, loss of himself, is what allows Alice to live. You won't get Seto or Naomi or Nagi back without more loss. The potential loss of Yuito and Kasane could bring back Nagi and Naomi respectively, but we'll probably never know that. And by the end of the main story, Karen has done this whole time travel shtick so many times that he's kind of run out of ideas. It's not that he can't go back in time and try again. He decides that his final solution is the best one. But I think one of the most interesting things that happens is the first time Karen even kind of gains this glimmer of hope is when Hanabi appears. I guess in every timeline she hasn't existed, and suddenly now she does. Karen ties that back to Alice somehow. And I really like what was done with Karen overall. And I like how they explain this time travel thing, how they show these alternate futures, or alternate pasts, I suppose. And you can poke holes in it, but you can kind of poke holes in any time travel narrative. So I'd call that low-hanging fruit for me to go and criticize, like, oh, well, he could have done this instead. You know, why didn't he do this? You know, in the main story, he could have done this, but no, we're not gonna force it down our throats. I think the only thing that disappoints me a little bit is that they don't go into like the Karn going to the future. Don't connect that timeline that Kasane goes to back to current timeline. But I guess it's not really for Karen, it's more for Kasane. Anyways, the third DLC pack does a great job with elaborating on some points. This is about what I expected from the team at Bandai, since this game wasn't exactly a stellar seller. I think for $7, you really are getting a worthwhile pack. And if you've been looking for some story stuff, as opposed to just character relationship stuff, this kinda fits the bill. It's the best you can do with the existing game. The DLC pack didn't clock in at 2 hours for me though. I think it's shorter than that overall, so you might want to keep that in mind. If you feel like you want to get like a good number of hours out of this, I recommend either waiting for it to go on sale, or if you haven't already, pick up the season pass. 20 bucks, you get all these packs, and it's like 3 bucks less than normal. Not a bad deal. Also, as a little side note to the end, I've got no idea if it's canonical, and I guess this is a mild spoiler, so I will clue you, well, I'm cluing you in on that now. But I highly recommend checking out the final episode of the Scarlet Nexus anime, which is kind of an epilogue to the events of the end of the game. And like I said, I don't know if it's canonical, and I'm kind of doubtful it is, because it's not in the game itself. And they could have done that for like our final DLC, but it might be worth checking out just in case it is. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Leave a comment on what you think of this DLC pack and Scarlet Nexus as a whole, as I assume this is the final DLC pack. Did you like it as much as I did, or did you wish it was something more? Also, if you have any questions about the game and the DLC, I'll do my best to answer them. Alright, thanks everyone. See you next week.